It. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, Sarah Nation. Even my cat is saying hi. She's meowing and licking my toes right now because I don't have any shoes. How you doing today? Okay, I'm just gonna check. There you go. I can see myself on Facebook. Let me see if I can see myself on Instagram. And welcome to the 5 day challenge, Smart Women with Money. So, just 1 second. I'm just checking that everything is streaming right now. 1 second here. Um, Seems that I am on Instagram as well, but I'm not 100% sure. So, that's the one that was a little bit tricky for me, but no matter what, at least I'm on Facebook, I am on YouTube. Again, welcome. Please say hi. I can see all your comments. And I also, any questions that you guys have, any comments, definitely make sure to put them in the comments in the stream, because that way I will be able to answer any questions that you may have. And welcome to Become a Smart Woman with Money. Hi, Nancy. Welcome. Thank you for being here. If just a few reminders, if you have not signed up for the 5 day challenge and you want to have access to the workbook and the information that I'll be sharing on email, etc., make sure to go to sarahshavier.com/ become a smart woman with money. And actually, let me check if it say 5 day challenge. Yep, become a smart woman with money 5 day challenge, but make sure to separate it in dashes. And I think actually there is a link on my bio, and there is a link on many of the posts on Facebook and as well as on Instagram. So you can actually have access immediately, and then be able to come back and have access to the workbook. Okay. So the first thing that I want to do. Oh, yes, Nancy, I can see that. We all do. And that's precisely what we are here. We are here because we want to become a smart woman with money, and we want to change our lives, for the better, right? And, but before I continue, I just don't want to forget. I want to review what we are going to be covering in the next 5 days. Okay. So today we are going to be talking about the things that we need to do in order to acquire the smart women with money identity, right? How to become a finance babe, how to be a smart woman with money. So we are going to talk about that, our identity today. Tomorrow, on the second day, we are going to establish certain goals. We are going to make some decisions, not only for the day, but also all the way towards the end of the year, and maybe even a little bit further than that, right? Because the year is almost over. We are entering in the last quarter of the year, and I want to make sure that you close it with a bang. That everything that you wanted at the beginning of the year that you have not been able to achieve it yet, I want you to either get closer to it or know at least the logistic and energetically as well, how you're gonna be able to achieve those goals. And then on day 3, we are going to talk about commitment and talk about the declaration of us having a better relationship with money, and a better relationship and the best behaviors with our finances. And then on day 4, we are going to get acquainted with a little bit of financial concepts or financial vocabulary, because we want to be able to go anywhere, and we want to feel confident about talking about money, or knowing what certain things are. If you hear somebody talking about it and the way you don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not, I don't understand this, I don't know what they're talking about. So we're just gonna get acquainted with some financial concepts and financial vocabulary. And then on day 5, we are going to do a masterclass. And the name of the masterclass is Seven Sneaky Myths That Stop Women from Achieving Financial Security, and the things that we need to do in order to be able to, the shift that we have to do in order to be able to achieve it. So the this is big. The master class is not gonna be live. So it's not gonna be here on Facebook. It's gonna be in a private setting in a webinar format. So if you haven't signed up, make sure to go to the page, right? Sign up for the challenge, and then it will send you also at some point to the page that you will be able to sign up for and register for the webinar. Okay, so make sure to do that. Let me check if there are any questions at the moment. Again, welcome to Become a Smart Women with Money 5-day challenge. If you haven't signed up for the challenge, make sure to register. It is sarahxavier.com/ with dashes become a smart women with money 5-day challenge. But again, the in the links in the bios, the links are there. They're all over because I've been promoting this event for the past week and a half. Okay, so I think I have mentioned everything. Again, make sure I can see all your comments. So make sure to put any comments, any questions that you have. Make sure to put them here. Participation is gonna be uh, definitely recommended because I have some gifts and I have some prizes to give you. So make sure that you participate as well. And again, today is day one. Today is day one, and the reason I wanted to start with the finance babe identity is because sometimes we are not clear about who we are, or if we know what we want, if we know exactly what we want, but we are pushing down all of those desires because we are giving priority to other things, maybe to other people, maybe to things that we feel that we need to do, but it's taking us away from our financial identity, for it's taking us away from the things that we love the most. And if you haven't heard me say this before, money touches everything we love, everything we love. So if 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 you are not in the right place with money, if you don't have the right relationship with money right now, this is not only affecting you, this is affecting everything that you want, everything that you desire, everything that you love. Therefore, today we are going to focus on our financial identity. And again, it's because it's not that you don't have one, it's because you are not thinking about that one. So let me explain that again. We all have our desires. We all know what we want in life, right? But sometimes we don't want to share it with other people. We feel embarrassed. We have guilt. We feel like, oh, that this thing that I have inside of me is never gonna happen. Well, I'm here to tell you that if you do have those desires, is because you can achieve them. It is because those things can happen to you. But in order to be able to do that, you have to absorb the identity of a finance babe. You have to absorb that identity of who you really are. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So the goal is that you are going to shift those beliefs that you have regarding who you are, and you are going to acquire the identity of that person that takes charge of her life, that person that takes charge of her money. Because when you shift that, that is going to affect everything else. It's going to affect your values, it's going to affect your behaviors, is going to affect your capabilities. Actually, you're going to become more aware about your skills, your abilities, and is going to affect the environment. there's certain things that you're no longer are going to tolerate. There's certain things that you're no longer going to want to have around you once you absorb that identity. So what do I mean by that? So for example, when I ask somebody what are their goals, sometimes they tell me sometimes they tell me, well, I want to be, for example, I want to become a health coach. This is what I love. This is a topic that I can talk all the time, and this is my dream, right? They talk about that, right? But then when I ask them, okay, so tell me a little bit about you, then they say, well, I'm a social worker, and this is what I do. So again, at that point they are not adopting that identity of who they are. And this is not only when it comes to a business, this comes to everything in your life. So if you want to become a smart woman with money, you cannot say, oh, I don't know anything about money. If you want to become a smart woman with money, you cannot say, I don't understand. I don't want to open my bills. Um, I don't want to, I want to leave this to somebody else. We actually need to take charge of our own money. We need to, because if we want to live our life in our own terms, we cannot allow other people to make those decisions for us. And this comes in anything in your life, but especially when it comes to your finances and when it comes to your money. Unfortunately, the government, they want us to depend on them 100%. And if we do, we're just gonna become zombies. We're just gonna become like people that other people are making decisions for us, and at that point we're not gonna achieve freedom. And we want to achieve freedom, right? That's it, it is in our inside of all of us. We want to have freedom. We want to have freedom to be able to live the life that we really want. But if you allow to other people to make the decisions, how are you going to be able to achieve that? Therefore, taking charge of your money, making the decisions for yourself, and learning what is it that you need to do in order to do that, that is what's going to allow you to have the things that you really desire, the things that are really a priority for you, and then and then you will be able to make the changes, shift that mindset, shift those behaviors, maintain, expose your real values, right? What really matters to you. And different we all have different values. There are things that are more important for some people, and there are things that are more important for others. So for example, um, let's say that there's somebody that for them it is more important to have a really nice car, and for them cars is important, right? That's a priority for them. But there might be another person, another woman that, um, cars are not really that important, but the place where they live is really important for them. And there's nothing wrong with either one. It's just that their priorities are different. So as long as you know where are your priorities, that's what matters. What And tell me, what do you think from what I'm telling you right now? There are other women, for example, that the priority is having kids, right? That's and there are women that are not. The priority probably is expand their careers. So again, nothing wrong with the priorities as long as they know and they understand what they really want in their lives. So so again, the first thing to be able, like, it's kind of like a domino effect. So when you change your identity and you decide, I'm not gonna let anybody else to make these decisions for me, I am going to, instead of like putting aside my finances, putting aside um, the responsibility of taking charge of my money and taking charge of my money, um, I'm going to actually adopt the identity of a person that knows what she wants and that is not gonna let anything become in the way of what she really wants. So like if for example your dream is to, I don't know, like having no location, and being able to work from wherever you want and be able to travel and experience, then you are going to adopt the identity of that person and you're gonna start shifting. It's like you're no longer are going to be the supporting actress in a movie. You're actually gonna be the main character of that movie. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? So, and Nancy, a lot of people, a lot of women especially, their biggest struggle and the thing that stopped them from achieve what they really want is debt. And I completely understand. And actually in my course, Finance Babe Academy, I think it's chapter 4, everything is about debt and how to have the right perspective about debt, how to make a plan to get rid of it, and how to make it so you don't have to focus anymore in your debt, but you actually can focus on what your priorities are and on money making activities, and everything is going to be set. So that's, I think, is chapter is module 4 of my of Finance Babe Academy of my course. So again, so let me give you some statistics since you mentioned that. Let me see if I can find it. Let me give you some statistic when it comes to debt, because I know that this is something that is in the forefront of a lot of women. So let me see. So let me tell you one. Let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some statistics. So 59% of the financial priorities on women is to pay off debt. So that, because they're so focused on getting rid of their debt, and when you focus on something, I don't know if you have ever heard, I think it's Tony Robbins that says what you focus on expand. And then you're so focused on your debt all the time that what happens is it keeps expanding. It's like a never end, like it keeps coming. And I tell you, I talk to clients every single day, and they are like drowning in debt, or they owe a ton of taxes, and like it's like a cycle, right? That never ending cycle. Even though if they're making payments, the interest is eating all that, right? But we want to be able to get rid of that. We want to be able to have a clear plan of how you can get rid of your debt without you having to focus so much on them and making you feel overwhelmed and making you feel stressed, losing sleep, crying in the shower, whatever it is, right? When it comes to that, I know that that is one of the biggest concern when it comes to having the identity of a person that takes charge of their finances. And sometimes when those bills comes in the mail, a lot of you don't even want to open them because of the stress is causing you, right? And then another thing that is very a little bit concerning is that uh, at least 19% of women, I'm sorry, only about 19% of women in the United States have a written retirement plan or have a written plan for their future goals. And this is alarming because it's like having a GPS, right? Let's say that you want to go from California to Florida, and you know that you have to go east. But if you don't have a GPS, you might end up in New York instead of in Florida. So when you have a clear understanding and a clear plan of what your retirement plan is, then you know where you're going. You know where you're gonna end it up, right? There might be some turns, some ups and downs, right? Some curves along the way. But as long as you know what the end goal is, you will be able to get there. About a lot of women, unfortunately, and this is another statistic that was a little bit alarming for me, was that at least 89% of women, they think that they only need $300,000 saved in order to feel financially secure. and about 51 of them gets an amount. So again, it's about not being clear of who we are. And the reason for that, again, is because we are not aware of what is our identity. We are pushing down those desires, and we all know what we want. It's not that we don't, it's that the daily life, like there's so many distractions that are taking us away from that. So in this challenge, I want you to be able to be even more clear, or become honest with yourself. And that, in the workbook that I have, that I have for you for day one, let me see if I can find it. I have some questions that I am asking you. Okay, this is day 4. Let me see if I find day 1. No, that's day 2. Okay, let me see if I can find. Oh, it's in the page. It's actually in the page for the challenge. And so I have some questions for you that, and I want you to, when you are going to answer these questions, again, I want you to be free of distractions. No cell phone, no TV, no kids around. I want you to be really focused, and I want you to be very centered energetically, that you feel it in your heart, that you are actually even in your gut, right? That probably that's a little bit more closer to your intuition. And I want you to answer these questions, right? Because this is what's going to show that clarity. And I want you to ask yourself why you think that is what you want, why you think. And um and and then that is going to give you a little bit more clarity of where is it that you want to go, and what are your real desires. And then, if what you're doing right now is really getting you there, or you are so distracted and you're doing everything for everybody else and not taking care of yourself. And it's kind of like, I know that a lot of people has heard this and hear it all the time. When you are in an airplane, they always tell you, right, put your mask on first, and then you can take care of everybody else. And as women, we tend to do the opposite. We're always taking care of everybody. We are gregarious, it's like we are the gatherers. Sorry, we are the gatherers. We want to help everybody. We want to take care of everybody else, but we forget the most important person, which is us. Because when we take care of ourselves, when we give priorities to ourselves, everything else, everybody else is going to be able to be taken care of. But if we are not in the right mindset, if we are not in the right place, it's going to be hard for you to be able to take care of everything else. And it saddened me, because I talk to women sometimes that are in their late 60s and late 70s, and they have nothing. They have nothing to care for, because they didn't care of that. Like, even yesterday, I was talking to a widow, a lady. She's a widow. Her husband passed away 4 years ago. He didn't have life insurance. They didn't have any. Actually, they have some savings. They have some retirements. They have some retirement. But unfortunately, her husband got sick, and all of that money went into taking care of her husband. And then when he passed away, she was left with nothing. And because she didn't work that much, her social security is $800. Who can live with $800 a month in the United States? Nobody, right? So again, and this is another one. Social security is not a substitute of your income. Social security is actually a supplement of your income. And we don't even know what's going to happen with that. Yeah, it might be possible that it never might go away, but at any time they can decide that your the retirement age, or the full social security now is gonna be extended to until you're 70 instead of 67, which is now, it used to be 65, right? A lot of people say, oh, I want to retire at 65, but that your full retirement, I'm sorry, your full social security payment now is up to 67, but the government anytime can say we're gonna extend it to 70. Because right now, people like me, in their 40s or 30s, we are paying for the baby boomers, which are exorbitant amount of people, over 77 million, and they are living longer, right? And we are all living longer. And that was not the plan for Social Security at that point. So again, we have to be clear of what we want. So make sure to go into the workbook. I think I sent you guys an email with a link to be able to have access not only to this recording, but also to the workbook. And make sure to answer those questions, okay? Any questions at the moment? And I can see your questions here. Let me see. Yeah. Let me know if you guys have any questions, any comments. If Are you guys clear of what I mean by adopting the identity of a smart woman with money, and that we are going to give that a priority, because that is the key to change your life. That is the key to change your financial life. Any questions, right? So we've been here almost 30 minutes. Let me see if there's a delay. You're welcome, Nancy. So again, let's review. Make sure to go into if you haven't signed up for the challenge, make sure to go into the page. The link is in the bios or in any of the posts promoting the event. And make sure to sign up so you can have access to these recordings, because I will be able to post them in the page for the challenge, and also have access to the workbook so you can answer the questions that you need in order to be able to understand and have a clear mindset regarding who you are, what is your identity to take. And then, hi, Princess. Haven't seen you in a while. How are you? And then, okay, no savings. And yeah, Nancy. I'm 66. No savings. I live on Social Security and VA benefits. So again, the important thing, Nancy, at this point, is that there are things that you can do right now, right? You want to prepare now, because probably at this point, right now, you're still healthy. Probably right now there are things that you can do. So don't wait until you're like 75 or like 70, right? There are things that you probably can do right now that can improve your life. And if you want to talk more about that, you're more than welcome to make an appointment and we can talk about that. But there are things, because you don't want to say, like being 70, being 75, and being in the same spot that you are today. And we all have that opportunity. If there's something good about being in the United States, is that there are always opportunities, okay? And there are ways that you can actually manage that, so you can, at least, you might not, I don't know, you might or you might not, right? You might become financially independent completely at some point, because you could, or at least you will be feeling a little bit more secure, right? You will have a little bit of financial security. So again, it's never late, no matter what your age is, and there are ways. Okay. Any other questions before? Well, let me continue. So again, the workbook is there. Make sure to answer all those questions. Make sure to be in an area where you don't get interrupted, and that you really listen to your gut. You really listen to your intuition and your heart, because we want to connect. We want to connect your heart, your mind, your brain with your bank account, right? We want to see that bank account growing. And but we need to know what we want, and we need to absorb, we need to become that smart women with money. We have to adopt that identity first. Okay. So tomorrow is gonna be day 2, and tomorrow we are going to, I think it is, let me see, Day two, we're gonna make some decisions. I think, let me make sure. Yes, we are going to be setting some personal goals when it comes to finances. Okay. So make sure to tune in again. And that way you will be able to get the workbook for tomorrow as well. Every day I'm going to be releasing the workbook. And don't forget that day 5, which is Friday, is a private, is going to be in a private setting. It's a master class. It's going to be the 7 sneaky myth that stop women from achieving financial security. So make sure that you sign up. You have to register for Friday, okay? Because that one is not going to be live. That one is going to be in a private setting. So thank you again for being here. I really appreciate it. And then Nancy, you win Amazon card. So because you participated the most in here, so you win an Amazon card. And make sure to send me an email, reply to any of the emails that I have sent regarding the how you call that, regarding the challenge, and I will send you the information. Okay. So you guys make it a great day, and again, tomorrow we're gonna be here at the same time for day 2. Ciao. Have a good day.